I don't remember exactly when it started, but I remember the feeling that something was behind the window. Not moving, not making a sound, but it was there. Every night, same time, same heavy silence. I didn't see it. I didn't need to. Its presence alone was enough to make everything around me feel unreal. The air, the shadows, even the sound of my own breathing. None of it felt familiar anymore. I didn't open the curtain at first, but curiosity is a sickness. And one night, I opened it, and I saw the thing that should never be seen. From that moment, I was no longer me. Only then did I realize what was behind the glass. Wasn't just in my head. It was there, and it was real. He is the window man. When I was a kid, maybe 8 years old, lived in a small, single-story farmhouse in rural northern Michigan. Our house sat at the edge of a dense forest, the kind where the trees swallow the light, even at midday. The backyard ended exactly where the trees began. My bedroom faced the back, with one large window that looked straight into the woods. That window became like a barrier between me and something I still don't fully understand. It started with a tapping, not loud knocking or pounding, just a soft, steady tap, like a fingernail or a claw gently brushing the glass. The first time it happened, I thought it was a tree branch. I pulled the curtain aside, but saw nothing, no branches, no birds, just the shadows of tall trees swaying in the wind. The tapping came back the next night. Same time, 2:47 a.m. I knew the time because of my Buzz Lightyear alarm clock. Its neon green numbers lit up the dark like a flashlight. It was the only thing I clung to. And again, nothing outside. Still, I was just a kid. I told myself it was an owl, or maybe just normal house noises. Country houses make sounds at night, that's what I told myself. But then it started happening every night. Always at 2:47. The tapping came back the next night. Same time, 2:47 a.m. I knew the time because of my Buzz Lightyear alarm clock. Its neon green numbers lit up the dark like a flashlight. It was the only thing I clung to. And again, nothing outside. Still, I was just a kid. I told myself it was an owl, or maybe just normal house noises. Country houses make sounds at night, that's what I told myself. But then, it started happening every night. Always at 2:47. On the third or fourth night, I stayed up on purpose, hiding under my blanket with a flashlight and a Nerf gun, as if that could protect me from anything. When the tapping started, it sounded louder, more urgent. I remember, for the first time, it felt intentional, like someone was trying to get my attention. So I looked. I pulled the curtain back just enough to peek without showing myself completely. That's when I saw it. It wasn't a man. It was a broken imitation of one, like something had tried to mimic a human and failed. It was taller than a person should be, bent over in front of the window. Its knee bent the wrong way, almost insect-like. Its arms were freakishly long, hanging by its sides, and its fingers touched the dirt. It wasn't wearing any clothes. Its skin was pale, the color of spoiled milk, thin and almost see-through. But the worst part was the face. It was smiling, a wide, unnatural grin that stretched too far, full of teeth that didn't make sense. Some were sharp, others flatter, jumbled mess. Its eyes were huge, round, like glass marbles, darting quickly as if scanning the room. It didn't move. It just stared at me, bent and smiling. I backed away and dove under the covers, too scared to scream. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. In the morning, I told my mum. She listened kindly, but she was exhausted and said it was probably just a dream. My dad wasn't around, he left when I was 5, so it was just the two of us. And I could tell she didn't want to make things worse. She let me sleep in her bed that night, and nothing happened. No tapping, no face at the window. But the moment I went back to my room, the tapping returned. I started to hate bedtime. I stayed up as long as I could, playing my Game Boy under the covers until my eyes burned. I stacked books and toys in front of the window, but every night, exactly at 2:47, I'd still hear that faint tapping. One night, I woke up, but it wasn't the tapping that woke me. It was the silence. I realized I couldn't hear the usual creaks of the house, no wind outside, no frogs or night crickets, just a heavy, suffocating silence. Then came the breathing, slow, ragged, wet. It wasn't coming from outside, it was inside. I sat up and looked round the room, and then I saw him. He was on the ceiling, stretched out like a spider, limbs bent and twisted, fingers curled around the edges. His face was just inches from mine, upside down, still smiling. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. I just stared at him, and he stared back. Then he whispered something. I didn't understand it. It didn't sound like words, just a low, garbled murmur that made my stomach turn. It felt like a question. The last thing I remember before I blacked out was his hand reaching toward my face. Then, when I woke up, it was morning. The sun was shining. My room was exactly how I had left it, no marks on the ceiling, no sign that anything had been there. I didn't tell my mum this time. I just told her I wanted to switch rooms. She said no. We only had 2. A few weeks later, she got a job offer in the city. We moved to Grand Rapids, into an apartment complex with real neighbors and streetlights. I never saw him again, but the number didn't go away. During my first week in the new apartment, I woke up to find the microwave blinking to 47, even though it hadn't been plugged in for days. Another time, I got a message on my phone from an unknown number. It was empty. Timestamp 2:47 a.m. And sometimes, especially when I'm driving alone at night, I get that feeling again, like someone's watching me. And sometimes, when I glance in the side mirror, I swear I see him, hunched in a ditch, or perched on a tree branch, still smiling. I started calling him the window man. I don't know what he wanted. I don't know why he chose me. Maybe he's still looking. I'm 26 now. I haven't been back to that house since we left. But a few months ago, I got a message on social media from someone I vaguely remembered from elementary school. We weren't friends back then, but he messaged me out of the blue. He said he bought a house up north, renovated it, and asked, "Did you used to live on Hollow Pine Road?" I replied, "Yeah, why?" He sent just one more message. "Did you see the man in the window?" I blocked him. I don't need to know if it's still there. But if you ever hear a tapping on your window around 2:47 a.m., don't look. No matter what, don't look.